Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Thursday, December 28th, and today we are talking more about what it means to be a man after God's own heart. And today that brings us to, to 2 Chronicles 16, verse 9. And this is what it says. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to give strong support to those whose heart is blameless toward him. Now that's in the ESV translation. When I started to dig a little bit deeper, what I found is that many translations say that he's looking for a complete heart. So that brought me to studylight.org. And when I went into studylight.org, I looked at that word there for complete. And what I found is that it is the word shalem. It's a Hebrew word, and it literally means complete, friendly, full, just, made ready, peaceable, perfect, and whole. As I started to think that through and really let it ruminate with my spirit, one of the things that jumped out at me is you cannot be a man after God's own heart without God. God is what brings that completeness. God is what brings that peace. God is what brings that friendship, that fullness, what makes you just, what makes you ready, what makes you perfect. It's all about that relationship with Jesus Christ. And as I started to look at the lexicon, it was very interesting to see what jumped out. It's to be made whole or complete by adding or subtracting. Now, we know what we're adding. We're adding God into the mix. We're adding God, our relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what we're adding. That's what we've brought into it. But it's also meaning to be a state of wholeness, to restore or make right through payment or restitution. Where was the payment and the restitution? It happened on the cross. That's where that happened. It's all pointing to our relationship with Christ. It also means a state of being whole, complete, or full. Also an offering of restitution or payment. It can also be a greeting as a desire for completeness to another. So when we look at this and we start to really let it sink in, we can go to God, spend that time in that prayer closet. Again, it's not a closet necessarily. It's a place you can go and have that time with God, uninterrupted, very focused, very driven. And we can say, Lord, bring me that complete heart. Bring me that heart that is a man after God's own heart. Let me live my life in a way that glorifies you. One of the main characters that God calls a man after his own heart is David. And David wrote many of the Psalms. One of the Psalms he wrote is the Psalms 26, starting in verse 6. And look at what David says here. I wash my hands in innocence and go around your altar, O Lord, proclaiming thanksgiving aloud and telling all your wondrous deeds. O Lord, I love the habitation of your house and the place where your glory dwells. As you think this through, realize David was a murderer. He was an adulterer. He stole Bathsheba from her husband. He made sure that Bathsheba's husband was killed. And here he says, I can wash my hands in innocence. I can go around your altar. He can be in God's presence. Why? Because of the redemption. And that redemption for us, because we're now in New Testament times, has happened on that cross. It's all in that relationship with Jesus Christ. When he gets to that altar, what does he do? He proclaims thanksgiving. He thanks God for all he's done. He tells anybody who will listen all of God's wonderful deeds. He's glorifying God and glorifying God with everything he's got. And he's enjoying being in God's house. He's enjoying being where God's glory dwells. He's enjoying God's presence. As you go into your prayer closet today, enjoy his presence. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.